game, just go ahead and give your thoughts on that.
Yeah, just a tight game against a good football team, and just really challenge our guys to be really detailed going forward. As we get right here in the meat of this conference schedule, and that's where the challenge lays. You just go back and just look, really over the last 2 weeks, really about probably 6 to 10 plays, that have halted us from getting the results that we want. And those are things that we've just got to be really focused on, really detailed about going back and being really good, playing clean football as we go forward.
You say your last couple weeks you said you're close. As you go back and look at the film, is there one thing you're close at, or is it a combination of things?
Just execution. Just being able to go execute, that play, and that's the thing about football is you don't know when that play is going to be that play. And that's why you always, we're emphasizing our guys playing hard, and which is one thing our guys have done. They play with great effort, but you just got to really go out and execute, at the highest level for the longevity of the football game, because you don't know when, that play is going to be the play, ultimately the play. And, those are things that we've got to do. So we've just got to go out and execute very consistently, and really just, focused. We talk about, using the word grit, and just, talking about enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. Just being able to endure and be focused through the long haul, being able to finish a game. And, we use that in many aspects, practice, a week, school, there's multiple different ways we can, utilize that, and we talk about that word, but just being able to do that and being able to go out and finish plays, finish a game, going forward.
The second half, I couldn't see, but in the fourth quarter, you've been outscored 48-24, and I believe in the third quarter, you've been outscored as well. I guess, what have you seen? It's been different in the first, second half, and what can you do to get better at it?
Yeah, just go out and execute. I mean, that's going to be a common theme, just about execution, and that's in all three phases. That's offensively, defensively, and special teams, just being clean, being consistent, and being able to go out and execute, the scheme that we're needed to get done at that moment, depending on whatever side of the ball it is. And those are things we got to do. Just going back to being able to endure and be able to stay focused throughout a football game and go finish. And then that's where the challenge lays right now with our guys.
Looking at the passing game, it looks like Trevor and Kyron, they have the majority of the targets, or at least the receptions, I'll say. Is there anything that you're coaching as far as, when you talk to Cody about kind of spreading the ball? Is that a play thing, a scheme thing? Like, why is he just seem to be going to those two guys the most?
Yeah, I mean, the plays are off of reads, and those where those reads take him is where those footballs can go. And from a receiving core, those guys have done a really good job. They've been consistent about what they've done. Those are our two most experienced returning guys right there at receiver. So we should expect those guys to be able to go out and execute and do the things that they've done, over the past few weeks. And then, we got another, those next guys that are coming. And, we're just continuing to develop that group. That's a group that's got to be really detailed. That's a group that's got to be really focused on what's going on, for us to go forward having success. And, Kyron's a really dynamic player when he's got the ball in his hand. And, he's done a good job. He's got to continue to do that. I mean, we talk about all the times the good ones are good all the time. And, that's the results we got to get from our really good players. Got to play really good all the time.
The defensively, last week you gave up, I think it was 11 minutes they had the ball in the fourth quarter, almost 11 minutes. That was kind of a trend from the first two home games. Is that on the defense, or is that on the offense not being able to get first downs? I mean, they gave the ball right back.
Yeah, I mean, combination of, obviously you get on the field, you would like to get off the field, defensively, but at the same time, when you get in some of those situations, we've got to be able to hold clock as well. And when you get in a 4-minute offensive situation, 5-minute offensive situation, that's where we've got to be really good, and be consistent enough and good enough to go move the ball, and not only move the ball, but hold on to the ball, and not put those guys back on the field.
now you got Southeastern coming in. They've started out conference play 2-0. Just I guess just what's the overall view of what they've done this season?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Cephalon does a really good job over there. Those guys, they're 3-1 right now. Game got canceled early on. They're 2-0 in conference. Got a lot of athletes on the field. Got a really good quarterback, who's playing well. They've done a good job. They went and played Ole Miss really close at Ole Miss. We got a good football team rolling here on Saturday.
Obviously, their defense is going to be pretty well because you've seen it over the last couple of years here. Are you expecting a lot of blitzes from that because you've seen that before from them, and are you prepared for that?
Yeah, I mean, we're just right now going back through tape and watching and just preparing. I mean, just how we would through a normal week, just going back off, of what the first 4 games and what they've done and what they line up and what they do, and those are the things that we're preparing for.
Do you think it helps the fact that the kids have seen that defense basically in practice, your offense guys?
I don't necessarily think that. The thing about most defenses is there's certain coverages and stuff. I mean, you see a lot of coverages throughout the season and all that. But I don't necessarily think it does.
This week, this is a different week. I know you and the players say that you're always focused on yourself, but I mean, just this week, I guess it'll be an elephant in the room. This team's facing their former head coach. Have you had a message? Have you told them? Will you tell them? And what will you tell them as far as, I guess, keeping emotions in check or anything along those lines?
Yeah, to focus on us, and the thing is, we're playing Southeastern, and they're playing McNeese, and our guys got to, when the ball snapped, you got to go execute and do your job, and at that moment, that's what we've got to do, and we've got to do that consistently throughout the entire football game.
It seems like last weekend, and with a Guidry defense, they're always susceptible to deep plays. It looks like you seem to open it up a little bit. You went deep a little bit. You got the long touchdown pass. Is that something that the offense kind of evolving in as you move on, that you're seeing more of those deep opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, I think just it's been progression with us, and just continuing to get better and understand the scheme, and just go out and the word. I mean, it's going to come up again. It's just execution, and just being able to go out and execute those plays that are called, when they're called, and guys being able to, to finish the play.
Has Cody kind of fallen into? He now can see different options, whereas the game obviously was all new. You would almost stick to the first option too much. More options are opening up now.
Yeah, I mean, him along with the other guys. I mean, you just seen those guys continually get better. Here we sat, just playing in the offense longer and just being more comfortable and understanding, and that's something he's feeling right now, along with some other guys. So we're pushing towards really getting the how we want to execute and how we want to get done, and the consistency of that on offense.
Do you, and I guess by extension the team, feel any extra urgency this week? Not necessarily because of the opponent, but to not want to fall to 0-3. I mean, it's for multiple reasons you don't want to lose again, but falling to 0-3 pretty much that almost takes you completely out of maybe the conference title race.
Yeah, I mean, we understand the urgency, and what's, we also understand that the conference is still wide open. There's a lot of football left in the conference, but yes, I mean, you ultimately want to get back in the win column sooner than later, and that's the ultimate challenge, and that's where our focus is, and our guys know and understand that.
Completely off subject, just curious to your thoughts on California today. The governor signed a bill to allow pay-for-play, essentially, in California. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have any?
I did not know that. I don't know. You caught me off guard on that one. But I'm sure NCAA will figure it out.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it.